Good evening. Welcome to day number 1 of my road trip. As I like to call this, the road from Florida to North Carolina is not necessarily a straight line. This morning, woke up. Last night I went to bed at let me back up a little bit. So I had my last day at work on Tuesday at the Walmart, one of the Walmarts in Vero Beach. And I worked from 3 to midnight, and then came home, was in bed by about 1, woke up 7:30, had to go get a haircut, and get the car looked at, tires rotated, alignment, all that stuff, and do lots of packing. And so got all that done and was in bed by about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Was going to be up about 2 or 2:30 this morning. I actually ended up getting up about 1:15, 1:30 this morning. Yeah. I went to the bathroom like 12:30, then I went back to bed, tossed and turned, and did all that stuff. And then by then I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get up and hit the road. So I did. Was on the road by 2 o'clock this morning. Drove up I-95, which y'all should know is now 6 lanes from Savannah, Georgia, all the way down to Miami, Florida, to the very end of I-95. Drove that, and then I drove some other lesser-known 4-lane highways in Georgia, US 1, and then went over to 341, and then US 80 over to Columbus, Georgia. And I ended up in where I am now, which is a town called Opelika, Alabama. Yeah, funny name, huh? Today was kind of a blah day. I mean, it's the first day. It's good to be on the road, which I like to do. But today was just a lot of drive and just getting out of Florida. The drive. Let's see. Okay, so got out of Vero Beach at 2 this morning. And I arrived here in Opelika, however you pronounce that town, right about 11. Okay. Now, which was all fine and good, but I had planned on being here right when my hotel room was ready at 2. So I had like 3 hours of unplanned time to burn. So let me back up a little bit here. I'll say that, Georgia and Alabama, I mean, y'all got some pretty crummy roads, I gotta tell you. I mean, Georgia, you blow all this money, which, by the way, is a state run by Republicans, I'm sorry to say, people who are, in my party, I should say. But, you give taxpayer money away so the Atlanta Falcons can have a new stadium and the Atlanta Braves can have a new stadium. And yet here I am driving on these roads. These are like, state highways. These are not little county town roads. These are 4-lane, US Highway 341, US Highway 1, that are rough, and had to, dodge a few little potholes. They weren't very big potholes, but still they were enough to where, when you're going down these roads 65, 75 miles an hour, you hit one of these things, it can, what's the word I'm looking for? Throw off your car's alignment. So, yeah. In Alabama, you got 9% sales tax. Gas prices, I paid $2.89 in Vero Beach, and then I paid $2.69 in Hawkinsville, Georgia. Right now, looking at, I'm going to fill up before I hit the road tomorrow. Gas over here in Alabama is about $2.55 a gallon. So yeah, we're talking like 40 cents below the national average, which is good stuff. So anyway, I got to Opelika at 11. Had some time to kill. First thing I was going to do, I had to go somewhere, just kind of, use the bathroom, get some caffeine, get some good little food. Like, boom, there's Taco Bell right there. So, of course, I stopped there. And the choice I made on the menu, I tell you, I mean, Taco Bell is known for good, cheap, fast food. But I got a combo deal. I think it was the number 7. It had the... you get a quesadilla, chicken or steak, and then you get one little puny little taco and a drink. Okay, you know how much those 3 things cost? $6.75. I know, right? I mean, I should have gotten like, 4 burritos and a large drink for that much. When you go to these fast food places, you really gotta. I mean, I've been up since 1 in the morning, so my brain was not really at its full. This is a good value, this is not a good value kind of thing. But yeah, you gotta watch yourself when you go to these fast food places, because it's just use the value menu. Okay, the combos can be okay, but always look at how much food you're getting for the money. So I do not recommend the number 7 at Taco Bell. Es un ropo. That's Spanish for it's a ripoff. One of the few things I remember from 40 years of high school Spanish. Okay, so after Taco Bell, I was like, okay, well, this is about 11:15, so yeah, can't check in the hotel until 2 o'clock. So I'm like, hey God, if you're up there listening, I'm going to let you guide my tour, wherever I'm going today. So, I start driving through downtown Opelika, and I'm like, I really want to check out Auburn University, because, Auburn is right next to the town. It's, just like 5 miles away from Opelika, right? So, we make our way in that general direction, and I was kind of surprised that, for being so close to Auburn University, there's really not very many signs. I don't even think there's one out on I-85. You kind of have to really put your thing in the cap and say, okay, well, this road is called University Drive, so I guess I'll turn on this road. And then, there's College Street. Okay, I'm getting a little closer, and then I go around the block, and then boom, there's the big, huge football stadium, right? And so I drive a little more, and then I see the campus. I just drive by, because honestly, traffic there in Auburn, yeah, it's a little dicey and congested. This is summer semester we're talking about. I would hate to see like what the on-campus traffic is like, in the fall or winter, the fall or spring semester, the traditional college semester. I was thinking about, parking and, exploring the place, but then you gotta go to the visitor office. Couldn't find that. You had to go get a parking pass, and you had to stand on your head and count to 20 backwards. Okay, the last part I was making up. You can see there's a lot of red tape just to visit this Auburn University. Again, after being up since 1 this morning, I want to keep things simple as possible. So I venture off, and I go on I-85 west towards, towards Montgomery. But I look at my atlas and I see, I'm very close to the Tuskegee, Alabama, the Tuskegee Airmen Monument. So, of course, I was at a rest area when I realized this, and it's like, okay, so I go over to the Tuskegee Monument, and I could have stayed there a little while longer and looked around, but I just walked a little bit. Those little exhibit placards, little walking area, maybe like a little acre of land. They had some other buildings way down this hill, but I was like, again, been up since 1 this morning. I'm just like, ugh, low energy. I just, I need to just drive around until 2 o'clock, and then I can check in my hotel room, right? So then I go to the little town, Tuskegee, very small town, I should say. Dollar General, McDonald's. That's pretty much it. So I, take a couple other roads, and I'm on US 80 westbound, heading towards Montgomery. I was thinking about going over to Selma, see the Edmund Pettus Bridge, but that would have been probably another. I would probably have gotten there by like 3, and then have to go back. I wanted to stay kind of local. I want to go to Selma someday, but just on this trip, I was like, no. So I start going back on I-85 eastbound, back towards Opelika, and I try to get to my exit for the hotel. It's close to 2 o'clock. It's like 1:50, but there was like a line of, like, I kid you not, about 15, 20 cars that had the same ID I did. So I was like, okay, fine, just, screw it. I'll just keep going in the, left lane, and next exit I can get over, I'll get over and figure it out from there. So I go to the next exit, and I go on, I'll look at my map. I'm like, okay, well, there's a couple little county roads I can go on. And so we take that over to Lake Harding, okay? Which, this is a very hilly area. I mean, these hills around Columbus and Opelika area, wow, they're no joke. I mean, I was thinking about, especially when I was in downtown Auburn and Opelika today, I was thinking about, man, I might want to downshift, go from D4 to D3, just so I don't burn out the transmission on my one-hit 180,000 mile Honda Accord, and let me talk about that car I'm driving now. It's, my mom bought it from a family friend, and then I made payments to my mom for over the course of a year, and now it's paid for. It's my car. It's in my name, so I don't have a car payment anymore. That's the good news. The only bad news is it has 180,000, but again, it's a Honda. I'm hoping that it'll last for maybe another 100,000. But it's done very well on this trip so far. It's pretty good on gas. Got about 28 to the gallon today. 28 miles, I should say. Let's see what else. Yeah, very good acceleration. Good with the cruise control. The only thing I'll say about cruise control is, when I started getting past the Macon area, Macon, Georgia, started getting to the western part of Georgia and to the rolling hills, and I just stopped using cruise control because it just, it's just too much wear and tear on the transmission. Trying to maintain speed when you're going up the hill. It's much better just using, the gas pedal and just normal gas. Like when you're going on these hills, on these 4-lane highways, speed limit 65. I'm usually going about maybe 10 over. So I'm doing about 75, and then all of a sudden I'm doing like 80. But then there's a hill, and I'm going up, and I'm only doing like 70. So yeah, it's kind of one of those weird things driving on hills. And let's see. Breakfast this morning, I just had stopped at McDonald's, and they're in Folkston, Georgia, which is home of what's called the Folkston Funnel. In other words, like, more trains pass through that town than pretty much any other town in the country, because they're all going from New York to Florida, or they're going from Texas to Florida along the rail line there. And then, of course, lunch, I did Taco Bell, and then dinner. I really could have maybe gone to like Western Sizzling Buffet or a nice Southern mom and pop restaurant here in town, but gosh, when I got to the hotel, I just Didn't feel like going anywhere, so I said, okay, let's do delivery. I was hoping to find something, again, local, something that's not a national chain, but I ended up with Domino's, and they got here within 30, 35 minutes, and got the what's called the chicken Alfredo pasta bowl, got some barbecue chicken wings, and that what you call the Parmesan, no, the garlic bread, not brainy thing, whatever you call that thing. But yeah, well, tomorrow is going to be a fun day because guess what? I'm going to Dave Ramsey show headquarters. Now, unfortunately, Dave Ramsey is not going to be there, but still, it's going to be cool to see the actual studio where he has a show, and they got a little gift shop, and they have a little tour of the Ramsey Solutions office. And right across the road there from Ramsey Solutions is the Cool Springs Galleria, which is a huge, like, 2-story shopping mall with like 200 stores. So yeah, that's tomorrow. And the good thing about me doing this video now is that I'm getting very tired, and I'm going to go to bed and hopefully I can get some shut-eye now, because I tried before, right after Jeopardy, which airs at 6 o'clock here, because we're in Central Time Zone here in Alabama. And I tried and went to bed, slept for like 20 minutes, just woke up and couldn't go back to bed. But I think now I'm actually getting tired. Yes. Anyway, I am the Conservative Pelican, and this is day 1 of my road trip. And I will talk to y'all, hopefully, tomorrow night. Fly away.